Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make these chocolate and strawberry cheesecake slices. Let's begin. So to get started on the recipe, you'll want to make the base. So grab yourself a food processor and place in your Oreos and blitz these up until they become a fine crumb. It may take a little bit of time, but trust me, it's worth getting them to the fine consistency. Then add in your melted butter and blitz again until everything is coated and has come together. It should look a bit more like wet soil. Then place that into the base of a lined 9x9 inch square tin. And I know you may be thinking that doesn't look like a lot of mixture. You don't want a super thick base on this cheesecake, you're just looking for the right amount, and this is the perfect amount for this cheesecake, trust me. I've made it enough times to know that this is perfect. Unless you want a chunky base, make double, but I really do like quite a thin base. Set that in the fridge until needed later on. Then you can start to work on your cheesecake layers. So I'm going to show you how to make both, as they are basically the same but a little bit different. So into a bowl, place in your cream cheese, which is at room temperature, followed by the sugar and the vanilla, then not forgetting the sour cream. Feel free to use natural yogurt if that's what you've got to hand, whichever you can. Then not forgetting to add plain flour either, just to stabilize the mixture. Then your eggs and your strawberry powder for your strawberry layer. I'm using one I brought in Holland & Barrett, I will link it in the description down below. And then just mix this on a low speed to start with, and then once everything's incorporated you can turn it up, and you will notice that it's quite a thick mixture, and it goes quite red, well quite pink, which is perfect for this recipe. Once you've got a smooth mixture, or as smooth as possible, you can then go ahead and give the bowl a good scraping down, and this is just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on. So for the chocolate layer, it's the same thing. Grab yourself a mixing bowl and place in your room temperature cream cheese, followed by the sugar. Then not forgetting to add in your sour cream or natural yogurt, whichever you have to hand. Then you'll also want to add in your flour, followed by the cocoa powder. Not forgetting to add in your eggs and vanilla as well. Then mix on a low speed to start with, working you up to a medium high speed. The mixture should just go from looking quite rough to smooth and glossy very quickly, and this is just as you mix it. So if you mix on a high speed, you'll notice that everything comes together a bit quicker. And at the start you may think it doesn't look very chocolatey, give it time, mix it in, it'll start to look very chocolatey, much like this, look like a great cake batter, although it's a cheesecake. So then give the bowl a good scraping down, and this again is just to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in from earlier on, so don't forget to get all those little bits in there. Once you've done that, you can then go ahead and grab your base, which you made earlier on. I kept mine in the fridge, but feel free to use yours at room temperature. I then start, you can layer it whichever way you like, but I start with the chocolate layer, and just spread and level it out as best as you possibly can. And you may be thinking, that doesn't look like, again, a lot of mixture, but you're having two thinner layers rather than one super thick layer. So just spread it out as best as you possibly can. Then you'll want to top that with your strawberry mixture. Now, if yours is a little bit looser than this, you may want to do something about that. So chill it in the fridge for a bit first, just so it firms up. But I was quite lucky and it's quite thick, so yours should be the same. Just spread that out until you've got almost a perfect layer, as this doesn't really move too much when it's baking. Cover with some tin foil, and this will help keep the bake perfect. Trust me, don't use it, it will just caramelize on top and look kind of ugly. So don't forget to then bake it off. I'll leave all the information in the blog post, which will be linked down below. So this was the following day. Mine had been baked and cooled fully, chilled in the fridge until needed, which was now. Then I cut it up into 8 very generous portions. You could easily have halved them and they're still generous. But it's Valentine's Day, gotta share the love somehow. So to finish them off, simply make some whipped cream for the top. So into a mixing bowl, place in your double cream, some icing sugar and vanilla extract. Then whisk this on a medium high speed until the mixture thickens, and you'll notice it goes from liquid to thick very quickly. So be careful not to overmix, as otherwise it'll have a granular mouthfeel, which is not pleasant. Transfer it into a piping bag fitted with a nozzle of your choice. I'm using an open star, I think. I don't quite know the name. And then just pipe ropes on top of each. Again, you can pipe rosettes or whatever you like, but I just went with ropes, as this is what I feel like looks good for this one, but it's completely up to you. Pipe on top until you have no cheesecakes left to cover. This should be the perfect amount of whipped cream to go on top. Then I just added a spray of gold just to give you that shimmer, because, you know, it's Valentine's Day, gotta show off a little bit, haven't you? Feel free to use whichever one you like. I'm using gold, but feel free to use a silver or a rose pink one, whichever one you can get your hands on. Then onto the one side of the whipped cream, I just use some of these halo sprinkles, which are a Valentine's Day mix. And as you can tell, it just adds a little colour, and it'll add a little bit of texture as well. Again, you don't need to do this, it's completely optional. But then onto all of them, I use these little hearts that are on a pick and just step them in, and it just gives it a little something extra. Not a lot, just, something a little more, because there's gold in the sprinkles. The gold edition works really well. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me, and I'll be back again very soon with another recipe, so join me then. In the meanwhile, don't forget to check out the description, there'll be links to this recipe, a link to my blog, and links to all my social medias. But that's all for today, I hope you enjoyed. Bye guys.